wanted to get to the part where it's like the black or the berry, because that's going to tie us into the tea of the show today. I am scrolling through my notes. Here we go. Okay, so finally got new teas, guys. Yay! Only after like the whole Friday of not posting and all kinds of stuff, but we do what we need to do to thrive. You heard? So, tea of the show, and I have to look because they're new, is a Lady Grey black tea. It is black tea, orange peel, lemon peel, and citrus flavors. I'm not usually a fan of fruit teas. This is my first time trying this one, so I will let y'all know how it goes as the show progresses. Okay, I hope that you guys are doing phenomenal, fantastic, dope, amazing. Gah! All right, tea of the show. Let's talk about blackness, shall we? If you couldn't tell by our intro song. So, blackness, my blackness, the entity of blackness. First off, there is only one race. I understand that's reductionist. There are multiple ethnicities though. Let's get into that, okay? So there's only the human race. Blackness was created as an offset for whiteness, right? Whiteness was created only so that certain people could feel superior and make other people feel less than for not measuring up to that standard, okay? So, I love the black, and even though black started as a construct, what's great about certain constructs is that they can become realized. They can become real through engagement, interaction, assertment, things of that nature, right? So over time, black became its own entity out of rebellion and out of pride. About me and my blackness. The other day I went and had some drinks with some new people from work. Felt very adult, yes, God, okay? Went and had drinks, but what was still happening was that conversation of the white black girl, right? Where it's like, hey, what made you, like you? What's that mean? Basically, you're trying to figure out if I have some hood on me or if I am truly lost to the other side. First off, let's just say stop that. Stop it. Especially people in the black community. Leave people alone. Just because a young woman or man speaks proper English, can enunciate, can be articulate, and is extremely motivated and focused about theirs, does not mean they are white. Stop equating properness, education, high standards of self, and confidence as white characteristics, because those are not those. Okay? Now, don't get me wrong, I can get down with some ebonics, same as the rest. But at the end of the day, I know how to round out my words. I don't know if that's necessarily a white thing so much as I did it because my mom, 1, and my dad, 2, and then theater, 3. You can't just be saying words however you want to say them on a stage and then read to the back of a room, right? So between all those things culminating together, you have this. Okay, so yeah, blackness, black womanhood, I think is a profound and dope entity, though they are, personal opinion, most denigrated and disrespected group of people on the planet, because there's so many different things going against them, right? You have the fact that they're so far on the spectrum from the standard, right? They're far on the spectrum from masculinity, being females, right? When it comes to femininity, they're far away from that white, virginal kind of mother of Jesus ideal that has been put on the planet, even though we are the mothers of the planet. So yeah, it's just all that and those distances away from those ideals and like that pale skin, and now you see all this melanin a popping and a glowing. Now black people are, again, all of this personal opinion, the influencers of the planet, the most influential people on this planet. Personal opinion. You look at dance, you look at music, you look at entertainment, anything essentially that breeds pop culture, fashion, our appearance, our physicality, our features, right? Everyone wants big lips now. Everybody wants their eyes to look kind of bigger. Everyone wants to have a tan going. Everyone wants to have like a thick behind, thick thighs, smaller waist, big boobs. And that all started with African American women and those women being attacked for having those features. Being a black woman or being black in general is difficult because you have to deal with colorism and hairism now. For those of you who don't know what colorism and hairism is, and these are, I believe, colloquial terms. Hairism is the belief that there is good hair and bad hair. Now, this is all just me kind of summing it up to my understanding, right? You can research it and find more technical definitions. But there's good hair and there's bad hair, and the good hair is as close as you can get to Caucasian as possible, pretty much, right? You want it to be straight, you want it to be like manageable and all that jazz. So the closer you get to 4C, which is what you foresee with me, is less beautiful and it's less good, right? So you have to deal with hairism for one. And so that means that there are certain spaces that I can't walk into with certain hairstyles, right? Like if we're just seeing that change in society where I could go into my business environment with an afro and people won't call it like ghetto or nappy or whatever. We're just now seeing wear protective styles, which for my less educated viewers in that way, protective styles are essentially the hairstyles that usually black women, but sometimes black men and people of color, wear in order to protect their hair from the elements and in order to not have to, honestly, to protect it from society and not to have to color it, chemical it, how did I say color it? Well, I guess, yeah. Color it, chemical it, straighten it, burn it, hurt it, essentially. So you'll see me with braids, or you'll see twists, or and these aren't necessarily styles, but these are part of the things that help us to navigate this world we live in, right? So you'll see headscarves, turbans, you'll see wigs, you'll see hats, you'll see whatever it has we have to do, essentially. I've thrown a t-shirt on my head and had to make it work, right? I think a lot of black women and black people understand that you got somewhere to go and your head ain't the way it needs to be, so let's just figure out what we're gonna do to this, okay? So yeah, but it did take me a while. I'm gonna come up with I'm probably gonna do a hairism section to grow to love my hair, even though I still don't wear it very often because I'll go to war with somebody over my hair. Like, we'll have a fight about it. My hair is profoundly thick and my curl pattern is one of the tightest curl patterns on the planet. That's not a personal opinion. That has been told to me many, many times. Yeah, so that is difficult. Also with that, don't just touch people's hair without asking them permission. Some people don't even want you to ask. I'm fine with you asking. Some days I'll be like, yeah, no, this is not one of those ones that you get to touch. Some days I'll be like, all right, go ahead. Yeah, colorism. Again, closest to the standard of white is the best, right? So even in the African American community and other minority communities, you'll find colorism, which is honestly internalized hate and racism for the hue of your skin tone. So I'm closer to like a milk chocolate, right? I'm closer to a milk chocolate. And I don't get teased as much as, or didn't get teased as much as somebody who was closer to like my color, my dress color, or closer to like a midnight kind of skin tone, or a Lupita Nyong'o. But light-skinned women or light-skinned men have, they're closer to a level of privilege than a darker-skinned person would be, and also tend to be a little, can be a little more disrespectful to darker skinned people. And then darker skinned people can also feel some resentment towards lighter skinned people and call them house slaves or all kinds of stuff, right? So that's some of the ins and outs. Being black, a lot of times you're expending a lot of energy fighting and leaning into certain stereotypes, right? Because I already told you about how like people in the black community judge me off of what I do, and I'm too far from black and too close to white. And then people in the white community, I'm too far from white and too close to black. And you have to figure out which one of these, not necessarily stereotypes, but which characteristics actually fit your personality. And it's part of the coming of age of an African American, which is what we're talking about specifically. I'm certain it happens in other communities, but as part of coming of age, you have to figure out which of those characteristics you want to take with you, right? Like, am I going to eat watermelon in public? Heck yeah, I'm going to eat some watermelon in public, but would I have done it when I was younger? Not sure. Or would I have done it at college, right? Or you wear certain shirts. It took me a while to stand strong in my activism and stand strong in like my black womanhood, and they initiate certain conversations in class, and to walk around with certain hairstyles. Cause there was a time period where I wore my hair pretty consistent, like maybe about 6 months straight while I was in college. Was the first time I had done that since maybe high school, early high school. So just growing in that sense of being secure in who you are and figuring out your ins and outs. How much Ebonics am I going to speak, and in what spaces am I going to speak them? Calling people on the small microaggressions, or even the larger, scarier aggressions, and figuring out where that's going to start and stop for you. Yeah, so there's a lot there. Being black in America, let's talk about it a little bit. Okay, so being black in America is a tough pill to swallow, because essentially you have black and you have American, and those two things juxtapose each other almost on every single front. So you have, I'm an American, right? So at the end of the day, I am proud to be an American. I'm proud of my national anthem. I'm proud of the spaces that I get to go in. I'm proud of the people who have fought for me, and I'm proud of the ways that I get to fight for other people being an American. I'm proud of the liberties that I had. And I used to say, which was ignorant, but I used to say back in the day where I was like, I don't hate slavery as much because it got me to America, which is part of my truth, but it could have been worded better. So you have that, but then you also have blackness, and blackness again is that rebellion, there we go, that's the word. It's the rebellion, and it's this pride against, it's essentially a fight against white superiority and the white construct that I cannot, or I am not worthy. And it's something beautiful to be part of that. It's something beautiful to be part of something that says, no matter how many seconds in a day I see something telling me that I'm not good enough, that I'm not enough, that I'm trash, or I'm ugly, or I'm dirty, or it's a sin in itself. No matter how many times, at the end of the day, I'm gonna love me, and I'm gonna love those who look like me and act like me and think like me. And you know, there's some powerful, some of the most powerful literature, films, fashion, art, all of it, right? Thought. And then there's not even just that. You of course have all the STEM, and there's black brilliance in every sphere and in every way. And it's amazing because it's denigrated so much, right? If you go back and you think about your education over the black experience, and you think about your education over black history, it's taught in 1 month, and it's essentially just MLK with a little bit of Malcolm X being thrown in there. And that's not okay. It's not okay. So it is upon us to ensure, and this is not just us as black people, it's upon us as black people to understand our history, to know our history, to know what we can do and have done so that we can know what we can be, right? But it's also important for those of you outside of the black community to educate yourselves as well, especially being in America. Black, to me, so you have an African culture, and then it splinters off into African American culture, which is something else in its own right. Now you can find those roots and those connections to African culture. However, at the end of the day, I genuinely believe that African American culture, bye-bye, there's never been nothing like it and will never be again, okay? So, yeah, that is Blackness. Real quick, I want to talk about being Black abroad. This is going to be a longer episode, I think, because there's so much to talk about. I probably should have put it in the chunks, but I don't believe in that. Let's just digest it. So, Black abroad. People asked me the other day while I was also getting drinks with the work people, same instance, asked me what it's like to be Black abroad. Oh, and they also said that like they knew I had a little bit of hood on me because of my nails, which, okay, I guess. I think my nails is more of a Terran thing, but it's possible. So, Black abroad, it's always very different. It's very different. I've been to, and I'm gonna do shows on my travels. It's gonna happen. But I've been to, like I said, Germany. At Germany, it's weird, right? Where it's kind of like this standoffish, hey, you're Black, you're different. And you don't see it like anywhere, right? In America, they're more cognizant about advertising and about having that presence around, or they'll be critiqued, and it's not that way in Germany. In Morocco, there is this fetishization. It's a fetish. It's a fetish and then an ization that of Blackness, especially Black womanness. And then there's also this like hatred of Blackness as well, because they don't get along really with South Africans, right? So between those two things, you're getting little kids like cussing you out in the street in Arabic, and then you're also getting grown men calling you Mama Africa, Black Diamond, Black Pearl. Baby, I've heard it, okay? I have heard it all traveling abroad as a Black woman. Italy's a fun time to be Black in, and to be a Black, especially a cute Black woman in. That's a fun place. I mean, I guess I shouldn't like click into it, but at the end of the day, if I'm enjoying myself and you enjoying yourself and you want to recognize dope, then that ain't on me. Where else? Spain is good. Spain is good. I didn't have like any problems in Spain. Spain, they kind of just left it alone. Every so often you see like a look, but it could have just been that I'm cute with mine, but who knows. Spain, Morocco, Italy, Germany, Australia. Australia was a mess. Australia was a mess. It wasn't worse than Morocco, but it was a mess because it's such an international place that you're seeing all kinds of people react to your Blackness at the same time, right? So you're seeing how like Africans act like real Africans, not real Africans, whatever, man, how they react to your Blackness. And they're like trying to talk to you, and you're like, you know, I don't think we got the same story here. Like trying to ask you where you're from, and they're like, oh, I thought you was from Ghana. A woman in the airport left me with her stuff. Like, ma'am, all skin folk ain't kinfolk. I'm glad you felt comfortable with me. I'm glad I put out that vibe, but ma'am, I'm not. It's not me. So that happens, and you'll see like Irishmen, assholes. Sorry, all the ones that I've met. There are some I'm sure out there somewhere that are not, but all the Irishmen that I have met are assholes. So, I'm gonna leave that alone. But yeah, everywhere you go, essentially someone wants to touch your hair. Someone wants to look at your hair. In Italy, someone, like, I think they were Chinese people that may be racist a little bit. They were of Asianic descent. That's not a word. They were from Asian descent. And they were like wanting to take pictures of me. So I was like standing on this platform in front of the Doge's palace, I believe is where I was. And I was trying to get my friend to take a picture of me, and from the corner of my eye, I see like a Asian woman taking pictures of me, and I'm like, wait, do you want me to move? And she's like, no. smile. And I'm like, which I shouldn't smile for strangers, I guess, but have you met me? So it's always very different traveling abroad, black and as a woman. Yeah, blackness in general. If you are a black person, I suggest that you stand firm and true and strong in that. Fun fact, white people, in case you didn't know, or even some black people, there is the Negro National Anthem, Lift Every Voice and Sing. You should check that out. Yes, that is the black section, the spillage. All right, let's get in. Steep it. Stop blaming women, single women, for not single men cheating. And you know what? This isn't even just like a heterosexual thing. It's not. Stop blaming single people for messing around with not single people. I don't have a relationship. That's not on me. Okay, now, what I will say, you can blame that person for pursuing someone in a relationship. That's not cute, that's not nice, let's not do it. But if I ain't know this person was in a relationship, or your person is coming after me like nobody's daggone business, like, that's not on me, and it's disrespectful. And you need to check your sexual, and as in gender, your gender biases, and figure out why it is that you feel comfortable blaming a woman for the actions of a grown man. Stop it, sit it down. Unacceptable. All right, let us get into our infuse set. Okay, so before I infuse it, I am bringing out the Hall's Defense Vitamin C drops, okay? And assorted citrus flavors. So the tea is pretty good. I can taste the orange peel, which isn't my favorite, but the tea is pretty good. Continuing on, the reason that I'm suggesting the defense drops is because everybody at the job is sick and it's disgusting. And I work in a call center, so like we're all very close. We're all touching other people's keyboards. We're all in the space. People are touching your headphones. Like, it's a lot. It's a lot. And I'm sure if you're in college, as most of my viewers are still in college, it is disgusting out there. It is gross. There are people, they're all over the place, and they're touching stuff. They are touching all kinds of stuff. So, try the drops, try some matcha green tea, because this is TeaNTea, and then orange juice, and make sure you're getting your sleep. Also try and work out if you can, and between all those things, you might be able to keep yourself together, because it is hard out here, lovies, okay? Nasty little spastics. Okay, your sip pit. Your sip it. Your call to action, my lovies. Be willing to educate other people. I understand that some people of color feel like it is not their job, which is not your job necessarily. It's not your duty. Oh no, it's not your job. It is your duty. Personal opinion. It's not your job to educate people about you or your experience or how to relate to you or how to work with you, how to help you, how to be allies. It's not your job. However, it wasn't Martin Luther King's job either. It wasn't Malcolm X's job. It wasn't President Barack Obama's job at first, right? It wasn't their job to help people, right? To bridge gaps, to enlighten. It wasn't their job. And Malcolm X, his ideology wasn't necessarily, but with that vein of thought. But if you think about it, at the end of the day, any kind of change involves a change in you first, right? And it starts with being educated. Organic education, not necessarily formal education. It starts with conversations. It starts with interactions, engagements. It starts with open-mindedness and setting out, right? And I'm not telling you that you have to go start a whole YouTube channel. I'm just saying that if there's somebody nearby and they're willing, then put them on to something, right? But above all this, I want you to seek to be educated. I think I made this show a little bit longer because we did miss the one on Friday, so that's fine, right? Seek to be educated, okay? Like, that's the number one. seek to be educated. If there's something you don't know, ask questions. The worst that they can say is whatever they say, and then go ask somebody else and be like, yeah, I had a bad experience. Don't let those bad experiences harm the future experiences you could be having though. Okay, so seek education, others. Seek it. Alrighty. And as always, be good, lovies.